all we're gonna do is exercise this movement. Partner's gonna be moving around, and we're gonna maintain them in our guard. Everybody tracking? So from here, I'm in the basic Sparta guard position, very defensive. My feet on the hips. I'm controlling his wrist, and he's gonna move around. He can grab my pants. Now, he got my pants, so I gotta address this. So when I feel this, I'm going to maintain the grip on the sleeve, remove my feet from the hip. I'm gonna kick and pull, and reinsert. And he's gonna move around. And get comfortable with it. Try to like move your feet around. Kind of, he's moving, and you're following, but don't let him completely control you. You're gonna be moving around. We're here. We're here. Keep moving. And this is gonna be quite a bit of work, so it won't work too long. It's warm in here. So what I want to do is to have us practice maintaining the guard, and then we're gonna switch in about 60, 90 seconds. All right, sounds good? Good warm up. Ready? 1, 2. We got to exercise and feel an open guard. The most important part about going to open guard, especially when he's here in my closed guard, his main goal is to what? Break my guard, right? Pass my guard. And to do so, he must break my guard. So, one of the biggest reasons why I just love Sparta guard, ready to go and break my guard, pretty good. Right? I got the grips I need already. So I'm already ready to go. But here's the most important part about going from closed guard to open guard. I have to make the jump, meaning I have to decide when we go to open guard, not him. I don't let him decide. If he's breaking my guard, go ahead and stop. You see my toe? I'm barely hanging on now. He applies more pressure. Go ahead, keep breaking my guard. And, oh, it's broken, and he starts passing. Okay, if I allow him to break my guard, he's gonna have the jump on me. He's gonna start passing my guard. However, go ahead, break my guard. If I decide, as it's about to break, keep breaking my guard, and I open my guard, I can establish my open guard game. That effort to move to an open guard before he actually breaks my guard changes the whole game. Again, one more time, just to demonstrate why this is so important. Go ahead, break my guard. I'm gonna let him break it, and he's gonna start passing as soon as he breaks it. I'm holding up for dear life, and he's passing, okay? Now the difference here, I'm gonna open my guard, and I'm gonna play open guard. Okay, so here we go again, he's breaking my guard. This guy's really good. I'm holding on, and this time he'll play open guard. See the difference? You're gonna make that move first, you can get to open guard. Second, even if we're here and I decide to go to open guard, that's fine. You can just go to open guard before he even tries to break your guard. To me, there's a lot of missed opportunities. There's a lot of closed guard game you should be trying to play and establish. But if you just want to play open guard, you get here, right? But I must make a move. Get my knees on the inside, okay? So here's what we're gonna do first. He's gonna break my guard. I'm gonna make that conscious decision to go to an open guard. Once I'm here, I gotta create some space, get my knees on the inside. Then I'm gonna open up my Sparta guard here, heavy on the legs, feet connected to the hips, and my hands pulling him in towards me. A lot of pressure. Go ahead and move around. Move around. Look, I can control him here for a good enough while for me to establish the game I wanna play. And I can also control him a little bit. Everybody tracking?
Yes, sir.
All right, so again, first thing we're gonna do with our partners, and we're only gonna have a couple minutes for each part of this technique, but to me, this is the most important part, is establishing that open guard, and then being able to maintain it. Especially if we're gonna start talking about using techniques from this position. So here we go, he's breaking my guard. Go ahead, break my guard. Boom, I'm in. And I'm in. And then I'm gonna hold, okay? This is a whole class in itself right here, but today, y'all get about 2 minutes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we're back. One of the first things we can expect them to do, because they realize I have control of their arms, right? I'm putting weight on their hips, making it difficult for them to move, but more important, it's easy for me to follow. Everybody tracking? My feet are on their hips because it makes it easy for me to follow. He's breaking my guard. Boom, I'm open. I'm in. Now, these grips here, like Chase naturally, instinctively, if I have a grip, he's going to create a grip, right? But to kind of help me, I'm pulling his arms, my palms from this position at least, it goes up. Makes it just a little bit easier for me to control, a little harder for him to establish effective grips, okay? Now, one of the first things you can expect when you're in this position, I don't have control of his legs. I'm on his hips. A lot of times they instinctively and correctly go to a combat stance. Boom. He's making one of my legs here almost ineffective. But in my mind, I'm like, thank you, been waiting for that. So I can adjust my hips to create enough space for me to get this leg under his leg here. And I'm not gonna go to a De La Riva hook. I'm gonna go all the way to a De La Riva guard deep here. See how my whole leg went through? Even if he has my pant, right? Look, just kick and pull. Boom, I'm in. I'm all the way here to his hip. The second leg, I can chop here. I'm gonna sweep him, okay? I gotta maintain control, especially of this posting hand. But I'm gonna sweep him. I like to put my leg on my heel here, depending where his knee is. Sometimes I gotta chop his leg. But watch how easy the sweep is. Once I establish my de la Riva guard deep all the way to his hip, I'm gonna turn my body over and pull his hand. Look, boom, he's on the ground. Quickly, as he's falling, or as soon as he's on the ground, I'm gonna cover his leg with mine right here. Still got control of both legs. I'm sorry, both arms. So I'm here, playing spider guard. Boom, he's up. In, look at my body. Don't be afraid to move your body. We were just talking about this, Coach Chase and I, sorry, Professor Chase and I. And we gotta kind of break the mentality for some of us thinking we always gotta move our opponent. Sometimes it's just as easy, if not more important, for you to move yourself. And this is one of those times. Boom, I'm in. Look, sweep, smash. Without going over too many passes, I mean, you're pulling his arm, you got an underhook, you're stepping off, going behind him. There's so many different ways to pass the guard from there. But today, right now, because of our limited time, focusing on the sweep. I'm in. Oh, right to his, he does this to me all the time, by the way. Right to his combat stance. And he's pretty close. He's deep, so kind of hard for me to, oh, I actually got it. He's deeper, hard for me to get in. So look, establish the space you need. Get it in. Boom, look. Smash. Fast. Any questions? I'll do it again. Face this way this time. One more time, no words. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Doing good on I got you so wrong.
Yeah, you can make me look. I don't know what I ain't doing. It's just too much. My man's like, I'm gonna show you a 7-part series.
So, same thing, right? I'm here. He's combat stance, and we're not gonna exercise this, but know this, okay? If I'm here and he closes that opening, I'm not able to get it in. Right? I can adjust my body. I'm still not able to get it in, right? Well, simply I go to ankle. I pull him in. Right? Now I have different options. So don't freak out. Don't freak out if you can't get it in. Well, here I can still get it in. Boom. I see how I adjusted my body. But close it up tight. Like, oh yeah, I'm adjusting. Boom. I can't get it in anywhere. Right? So look, we go ankle to ankle. Kick him out. Look. Boom. Of course, a lot of things I can do from there. I feel comfortable here because if he does nothing, technically I can't do nothing from this position. I have to transition. I have to move. There's no effective attack from this position. This is a guard. This is purely a guard. And understand that in spider guard, anytime you have your legs on both hips, it's more defensive than offensive. Everybody tracking? I'm trying to maintain a guard here. So he does nothing, so you know what? Let's get offensive. So here we go. I'm here. He doesn't want to do anything. Maybe he's up on points. What a jerk, right? He's just going to hold me. Yeah, he's just holding his guard or holding top position. So I'm going to get offensive. Look, guys, I'm going to escape my hip. I'm gonna pick a side, okay? I'm gonna escape my hip, space to get my leg up. And then, see how, if you listen, you can hear how tight everything is, right? It's never gonna be here, okay? So I choose a hip because I wanna make the opposite leg go up. Listen, everything's tight. Now from here, I'm up, and I'm extending my leg. This, you feel any pressure? You feel any pressure?
Yeah.
Here? Watch this. I'm gonna go for my near side sweep now. It's the first thing I'm gonna. Now listen, of course, there's so many cool things. Stomping triangles, all kinds of things, but let's go with sweeps today. You can grab me if you want, because he should be. Boom. Watch this, guys. I'm gonna make him uncomfortable. You see how I'm lifting him up? I'm getting him off his base. Watch this. If I just try to throw him, I'm gonna be here all day. I'm gonna look like an idiot. Before you do any sweep, even a takedown, it's 1,000,000 times more effective if I get him off his base. He's off his base. Look, chopping his far side leg, and I'm not gonna throw him again. Not off his base enough. Watch me rotate my body. Off his base, okay? Keep this here. This is why I was thinking the single leg.
Yeah.
Keep this here. Don't get too excited and come down. He can control. He can shrimp, get you into a single leg X position. You're in a lot of trouble, okay? Maintain that connection on his bicep. Again, here, he's deciding to hang out because he knows there's no immediate threat to him. Adjust. Tight. Look how this arm comes in. As I extend him up, I'm going to take this hand here, pulling him in. You can get on your elbow. I used to teach that, but I just stay here now. Less energy. Because here, I can use that momentum coming back. But now I just rotate my body here, staying here in his arm. From this position, you can start moving to other attacks, other positions. Okay. Time to get offensive. Boom. This now is a very offensive slider guard. I'm up. Like a scissor sweep, I'm gonna chop. But what makes this effective is this rotation. Okay, guys, again, if I lay on my back here, all that friction on the ground, I ain't rotating nowhere. So you gotta get to your side. Chop. When I rotate, the leg that's in the air, my goal is 11 or 1 o'clock, depending which way I'm throwing him. It's not to 6 and 9. It's 11 and 1. Here. Boom. I'm up. To the mount. Forward. Whatever else you want. You're up. Start working arm bars. Start working mounted triangles.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want. Back. Okay?
Hey, but y'all see how his head moved 90 degrees? His head didn't stay there as he took his leg up that 45. His head moved 90 degrees.
So I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
To the 1 o'clock or the 11 o'clock. I'm rotating my body over. You guys want to try? Any questions? Anybody got to see it again? Yes, absolutely. Let's go this way so you can see it.
I appreciate that adjustment, man. I think I'll have to go to the
Free chiropractor, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He gets enough for my money.
Here you go. Boom. I'm in. All right, this guy want to chill. Offensive. Ready? Hey, we're not making that rotation. And let me show you guys what happens if I don't. A lot of us are doing it. We're here. Now, a lot of practice, okay? Being comfortable with the space that you give your opponent. Like right now, I don't like the space. Like I'd rather be here. See how I made that adjustment? It's hard to sweep from here. I'm gonna kick out, my hips come up, boom, now I'm strong. So if you're too close, you won't have the strength that you need to sweep them over, especially when they're defending. But here, a lot of us are doing really good. We're chopping. If you keep it on the hip, like you're like fighting yourself. You have to make that motion here, that movement here, okay? Be confident, don't be afraid of them stepping over because we gotta answer for that. That's next. But here, a lot of us are doing this. We're going to the right area, but our body's staying in the exact same position. Remember, he's going to go to my 11. My head's going to go to 3. Look. So powerful. Second thing I want to show you. When you do get up to your knee, don't bend this knee. Get up here. Okay? If you bend your knee, a lot of us are doing this. Look at that. Like, oh boy, not going to be good. You can even go to an X guard because my leg is so high. Look, I'm not afraid to pull him over my body because I'm getting him off his base. I have control of him. I'm not afraid of that. A lot of times, one of the things that in jiu-jitsu, we hate to bring them over our body. Listen, when you're playing open guard and you bring their hips over yours, you have way more control of your opponent than their hips away from yours in any position. If you bring him here, right? Elevator sweep. Same thing, I got his arm. Once I bring his hips above mine, he's done. Boom. Don't forget to use the leverage you're building off of their knee to turn your body. It'll be all the difference in the world.
And that's it, y'all. That's really it. That leverage right there with that leg, when you're pushing on their knee like you're cutting it, that's what allows you to turn your body. That's what allows you to turn your body. Because if you're not turning your body, everybody I just came to help. You on your back, Professor? All I did was just go, all right, now get your foot up. You ready? Take it that way. And that's all I did. Everybody I was trying to say, hey, Professor, I was like, you're not turning your body. Like, what is like, you're not turning your body. Come on. And all I did was just grab their gi and slide their head over. And they stuff them every time. Like, oh.
Push off their knee. When you create this chopping motion here, boom, push off their knee. Get rid of their post. Boom. Get up. Here.
Adam.
My time's almost up, but I ain't done yet. So I'm gonna give you one more. All right? Because it's listen, in jiu-jitsu, listen. You're gonna do a technique and it's gonna work. You're gonna do the same technique, it's gonna fail. Make sense? Because in jiu-jitsu, everything works and everything fails. All right? I don't care who you learn from, what technique you're talking about, everything works and everything fails. All right? So let's fail. Let's fail. It's so important to practice all the points of where you're gonna fail. And you gotta transition from there. So that's where we got this far side sweep. Same thing. Oh, boom. I'm up. I go to hit him, he puts his leg up, and I fail. This is an absolute fail, right? No big deal. I'm going to bring my, another reason why we don't want to be so close when we try to hit this sweep. Come back on my knees, come closer, and make me fail. I'm trapped. We're hip to hip, bro. I got no space, and he's passing. He does it to me all the time, all right? But here, when I make my move to go to launch, see how much space I got? I failed, and he knows what's coming. He immediately is going to put his leg up sometimes. Automatic fail. So check it. I'm going to take this leg now, which is on his opposite hip from the arm I have. I'm going to put it on the same side. I'm going to put my foot hook, right? My foot right on his hip, okay? Right here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Professor Matt is going to pass your guard. I want him to, right? I want him to try. And if he doesn't, I'm going to move my body underneath him. Okay? If he does try to pass, it's the same thing. That's the position I want to be in. So don't freak out about that. Freak out about that arm far, far away, okay? I still have both sleeves for now. When I make my transition to his leg and I'm coming in here, at the same time, I'm gonna stomp, okay? I'm pushing, I'm collecting, so I'm gonna put some give in my knee. It's always gonna be a lot of pressure. I'm pulling his arm in, and I'm keeping the pressure with my leg by barely letting it move here, amen? And then I'm gonna stomp. I'm gonna put this foot right here, the one that's on his arm, to the ground. Here. And look at my knee. That was on his foot hook. My foot hook, leg, his hips are on me. And what did I say about the hips? Is his hips above me right now? Yes, absolutely. Look, all the control. Right to the top. Mind your space on this one. You're going to need some space. Fail. Oh, I failed right away. So I'm going to go right to it. Boom. This time he tries to pass maybe. He thinks he can get heavy and pass me. Thanks, bud. Fail. Yeah. Look. Come on in. Oh, I'm literally throwing him with my leg that's controlling his hip. Watch without him on me. Fail, right? Pommel, foot hook on the same hip. I move my body, or maybe he tries to pass. See how this stays here? This is my guard right now. It's all I have for guard. Well, I have his arm. I can put him back up if I have to. But I explode. Boom. This stays towards the ground. Boom. One more time with Chase. Do one this way. Far side sweep. Everybody got to see it again?
So I'm just going to kind of go into some of the stuff he was doing. Like I said, I want to kind of finish it. So we're just going to go from one of his sweeps to something else, to go from one of his sweeps to something else. So we should know the sweeps at this point. This is just going to give us another chance to kind of re-drill what we've already done. And to keep things simple, I'm going to go right off that last sweep we were just doing. And so feel free to go ahead and hit the sweep first. It's going to help you get into position. So while we're in, we're trying to get our legs in, coming through, trying to lift him up. As I go to kick, he blocks. I'm going to come underneath, get my foot. And now if he does not try to pass you guys, and this is where a lot of us were having a lot of issues. We're sitting here and we're like, how do I do this now? I'm going to go ahead and dig underneath. I'm going to let go and dig underneath. And I'm going to pull him on top of me as I'm collapsing this far side leg. Now I've got it collapsed and I've got him pulled over the top of me. I'm going to stomp, push, and I'm going to come up to my knee on belly. And this is where we're going to start. So I do want you to hit your sweep, but we're going to come up to this knee on belly, okay, from there. What I'm not going to do, and this is just, what I'm going to show y'all is just going to be some good details, you guys. A lot of this stuff is going to be stuff you've seen before, but I'm going to show you some details that work for me. What I'm not going to do when I come up to this knee on belly is come here. I'm not going to have my knee across his waist. This is not the type of knee on belly I want right now. If this works for you, fantastic. I love it. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. As Professor Matt said, everything works and everything fails. I don't like this knee on belly because I want him to work. If I'm here is breathing change. That's not good enough though. And do you know why? Because my toes are still on the ground. I don't like my toes being on the ground right here. One, he can start coming underneath. He can start manipulating my legs. I don't like it. So I want all this space close. So we're going to come up, we're going to hit this sweep, and then I'm going to turn my knee into a solar plex. And if you look at my foot, it's hooked onto his leg. This is going to help me so that I can crush him. Okay? So,
Were you gaining weight, bro?
so we're going to hit this sweep. And guys, it's details. I'm at this angle. I'm almost at a 45, but I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay at this 45. I'm going to change it to like a
30.
Yeah. I'm going to turn this in and down to smash this in because I want him to want to get me off. Okay? So, all I want us to do real quick, go ahead and hit this sweep. And I want you to come to a good knee on belly. This is going to give you a chance to practice that sweep again, loading them up. And let's come up to this good tight knee on belly. I don't want to see these toes on the floor. I don't want to see this knee on the ground doing this. There's no weight there. But when I'm here, I'm based and I'm turning in. This is where there's a lot of pressure. Yes, sir.
Are you going to actually use your hand like that? Or are you gonna
This hand, I can be here. A lot of times I like to be on the hip.
Yes, sir.
I can grab. But this hand's going to be my sneaky hand, honestly, which is why I'm just kind of like doing this. Because this is my sneaky hand that lets me do whatever I want to do. But make sure your weight's on them. The more points you have put on the ground. If I'm here and I'm doing this,
Light.
that's light. If I'm here, this is light. I've got to get these toes off the ground so that I can hide them and I can hold here. I can even pull if I want to, just to make it mean.
That's good.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is make sure they're carrying our weight so that they have to work to get free. Because if they just sit there and you allow me to drive my weight into your chest, you're going to pass out. Or you're going to move one. So you have to move or you'll pass out. Yeah, or you'll tap before you pass out. Everybody got it? On three. I like for them to push on my knee. Because when he goes to push on my knee, it allows me to come right here. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm applying so much pressure, he just wants to get me off of it. Now, once again, this is going to be about small details, you guys. We all know we can come here, we can step over to the arm. But this is not where I want to be. I never like to finish right here. Reason being, if he wants to try to hitchhike out, he's already at the angle he needs. I don't like the word hate. I really do not like trying to finish arm bars up here by their head. So as we do this, we come up to our knee on belly, we're smashing, I'm pulling. That's why I say I like this hand to be like my floating hand to do whatever I want it to do. Because when he goes to escape and he goes to get on the side, I'm going to hook underneath. Now guys, when we do this, I'm going to take a step, and it's not going to be a bunch of steps. I'm stepping to the center of his back, and I'm hooking the leg. I'm all the way around. Hugging. I'm not doing all this. I'm hugging. Knees tight. Finishing my arm bar. Now if you'll see, my foot is underneath his shoulder. It's not flat. I didn't put it down on the ground. When I took that big step and I get him up, I'm lifting it. So here, a lot of pressure in, coming underneath. When I push his head down, it's a big step so that I can turn. And now my foot is not on the ground at all. I'm lifting his shoulder up. I hook the leg, and I fall in toward the knees. From there, you lift your hips up, finish your arm bar. Keep those knees tight, you guys. This is one big step. It's one step to get it all the way around his back. You've got to spin. Because if I try to fall near his head, They're going to, I mean,
It gives me opportunity.
gives him
me
a, thank you, a ton of opportunity to get out. Not necessarily that he will. I don't have good success with that. I don't have very, very good success with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to that same knee on belly. We're going to apply that pressure. As they go to push that knee off, that's why it's so important to get on that solar plex to get them to want to do it. That's when we're going to hook that arm. Step around the back, full spin, you guys. We're doing more than 180 degrees. You know, almost 270, really. We're trying to get as far around as we can so we can hook that leg. Keep them from escaping. Everybody got it? Anybody need to see it again?
One more time, Jason.
So, we'll start from here. I'm going to get in, get on my side. I'm going to lift him up. Ooh, he's already blocked me. I'm going to come underneath, load him up, push him off, coming up. As I come up, I'm going to get my foot off the ground to apply that pressure. That's what's going to make him want to push that knee off. When he does, I grab. I'm going to stuff it. I'm not just like pushing it down. I'm stuffing his head in and down so I can step around. I'm already here. Whew. Got it? On three. Getting in this position is where a lot of us are failing. One, like I said, I'm going to apply so much pressure to him that he's not just putting his hand here. If he just puts his hand here, I'm going to just smash him and apply more pressure. He's got to get that weight off. And to get that weight off as you're pushing that knee, he shrinks his hips out. This is what sets a lot of it up. Because if he doesn't move his hips out, I'm just going to smash right there. I'm almost going to try to bow and arrow him and just pull him apart. So when he does this, get on your side, and he goes to get on his side, notice I'm on my toes now. Now I'm on my toes. This is what allows me to pivot. Because if I'm not on my toes at this point, I can't freely pivot and move this leg where I want. If this leg is stuck primarily to him and I'm not on the ground, I'm not going to be able to pivot like I need to.
The rotation won't be complete.
The rotation won't be complete. So that's why when they come in and I grab and I stuff, I'm on my toes. Now notice my knee can move freely now. And that's what allows me to do it. I've got my hips underneath. I'm underneath the shoulder. But make sure you're putting pressure on them so they want to move. Simply putting their hand there is not going to be enough. Nor do I care. You can put your hand there all you want. That's not going to change what I'm doing. I'm in a dominant position where I can make you stop breathing. I might not have a hold of your neck. I don't need to. If I can, compress your lungs where they can't open back up, you can't breathe. And if you can't breathe, I get the submission, I get the win. You're going to have to react. And if you don't, I'm okay being right there. So apply that pressure. Apply it like you need to so they can react. When they react, that's when we get our submission. So, that being said, we're going to move on. And I wanted to take us to that sweep first because that's the sweep we just did. But now we're going to go back to one of the others. Same thing. We're going to be in this guard.
Yeah, you did it to me.
And we can shrimp out, get our knees in, but we're going to come in here, okay? Once we get in, on my side, I'm going to lift him up. And when I lift him up, same one we did. I'm going to kick and rotate. Now when I rotate, like Professor Matt said, keep this. I'm keeping this arm. So that when I sit up, I'm bringing this out here to grab the head. Guys, everyone's going to have a different level of flexibility. I'm going to have to get my knee to the mat in order to do this. If I do not put my knee to the mat, I am not getting this mounted triangle. Okay? So as we swept, I swept here. I'm pushing through. I held on to this arm for now. But I'm going to let go. Because I've got to get my knee to the ground. Putting this knee to the ground is one, it's going to make it where you're not cranking their neck nearly as hard. In a competition, maybe I pull on it, set a little bit more, but be drilled safe, and just so you can really get the mechanics down, imagine putting your knee down. Once we're here, I'm based. I can grab my shin, lock up the triangle. Now, a lot of people like to sit here. There's nothing wrong with this. Push the arm over, lean the head down, pull the head up to get the submission. I don't like doing all that. I just don't. So when I come in and I grab this and I lock this up, I'm going to do it just like I would a triangle from the bottom. Toes are going to point out. I'm going chest down, and I'm going to hook his leg. And finish the triangle. So it's the same thing, you know, if I'm trying to hit a triangle from the bottom, there's been times where you pull your hips back, grab the head, pull the head down, and that stuff worked. It got to the place where that just wasn't working for a lot of people anymore. So jiu-jitsu developed. Let's start taking the angle. Well, why is top mount so dangerous? Because it's bottom guard. It's the same thing. So I'm not going to change, I'm not going to change the way I finish the submission. I'm going to do it the same way. And it works so effectively for me. And this may work better for me because I have such long, slender legs that when I lock it up initially, they're not choking. The hole is so big for people that they can fit their neck and an arm in there and it's not choking. I've got to get this angle. Once again, we're in, angle off, get him up, and just, as I turn, I'm holding on. I'm holding on long enough to get my foot through, and the reason I'm holding on to this one is because I need to be able to get my hips where they need to be. Once I have got his arm over for my triangle, I can let go to grab my shin, get it underneath, and now all I'm doing is walking. My legs should be pointing out that way, not in here. This isn't going to choke me. This is automatically tighter. I'm low, and I'm hooking. Finish the triangle. Y'all got it?
Yo, welcome, sir.
Anybody got any questions? So let me show y'all this real quick. We'll just go right back from it. We'll just start from the beginning. Everybody's used to it. Coming in, lifting up, turn my head. As I'm here, you guys, and I'm pulling this head up, I'm getting my knee down. Once I come here and I lock this up, what I'm not doing is falling forward like this. I'm not. I don't want to get swept. I am putting my chest down, but as I'm putting my chest down, my hips are going back. Notice they're not going, they are not going forward. My hips are going back. This smashes their shoulder into their own throat. I've got to come back. So as much as I want my chest down, I don't want my chest down, and for me to come up, I don't want all that. So as we were here, and I lift up, and I'm just going to act like I have this pulled in right now, you guys, because it's really tight. As I'm coming here, I'm using my hands not just to base, but to push my hips down. Everything is compressed. In a triangle, we never push them out of our triangles. Everything is just compressed in. Then I'm hooking the leg. Sorry. Sit those hips down this way on their chest. Don't lift them up. Don't pull them up. You never, from the bottom, if I get a triangle, I'm not going to do this to finish my triangle. I never will. Instead, once I get this angle, I come here, everything is going to come in. And look how my hips are even going down toward his chest when I do that. Everything's smashing in. So let's just do that one more time, and then my time with you guys will be done if you don't have any questions. But really sit those hips back, y'all. And that's my fault. I should have told y'all that. I'm sorry, but sit those hips back. It's going to make a world of difference for you.
I'm one of the resident yahoos around here, and everybody's up and kicking about spider guard theme, so we're kind of going to hit on that a little bit. We're going to use as a basic break pass, and then we're going to set back and do a basic break into a straight ankle lock. And it depends on how much time I take on those two and how quickly we pick those up if we do anything else. All right? keep it short and sweet because everybody else is getting hungry. I am as well. So here we are, pop, pop. I'm going to break. I'm not just keeping my back flat. I'm stepping out. I'm going to arch my back like a cat at the base. See how that puts pressure on his toes? From here, this is where he's going to set up his spider guard. Pop, pop, boom. He's in. And notice how he's starting to take me off base? Look, I'm going to take this bottom hand. I'm going to grab his pants. I'm going to post it to the mat. I'm going to circle to the inside and pop here. Now, notice his foot is on my shoulder. That doesn't really bother me because I'm going to step this way. And when I step, dropping my knee on top of it, right? Still keeping control of the pants for now. The hand is on the outside leg here. Look, I'm going to make a small circle and I'm going to collect his hips, right? Because at this point, his hips is going to get him out of this, right? Nothing else, his hips. He's going to try to make a frame, he's going to get hips, and he's going to try to get out. So, look, I'm going to circle, collapse, elbow straight down the hip, all the way to the mat. Look, from here, going to release the knee, collect the sleeve with a hook grip, pull up. If they have a gi on, grab the back of the lapel. If they don't, just cup the shoulder, start pulling it to your chest, and I'm going to shoot my knees out. Here.
Feels good.
Now I'm running. Okay. Here, now. Thread the needle. Knee to the mat. Notice how I'm keeping my hip running down his arm here so he can't get that frame to the inside. Here, tight, heavy, boom. So we're going to keep going with the guard pass. Boom, boom, he pops, boom, he's up. Right? Look. He's over here. I'm going to get this leg kind of up. I'm going to shove this one to the mat. Pop, step, circle, collect, walk, drop my knee next to his hip, open their leg up, right? Open the leg up. That way his legs stay straight, right? Because if I'm here and he can bend his leg, now he can start working different things, right? But if I have my knee in his hip and I open this leg up and it's behind, look, his range of motion kind of goes away a little bit, doesn't it? Circle to the hip, collect, up, running man, pop, thread the needle, tight side control. Everybody okay with that? There's also millions of different ways to do different things, okay? Then let's mention the way we're passing off of this knee slice is one of the ways he's made famous, and the reason he's won so many world championships the way he did so he controls the hips prior to his knee slicing, right? So you think about jiu-jitsu, right? We've got three parts of the body we really worry about controlling, right? Feet, the hips, the head, right? Feet, hips, head. So with this, I'm getting past the feet, initially starting with the grip, then I knee slice, and I control the feet and the hips now by placing my knee next to his hip, flaring my leg out, so that straightens his leg. Now, I don't immediately jump up to underneath the shoulder, because if you do, a real small shrimp and a pummel, they're on your back. I mean, that's all it takes, like a real small shrimp out, create space, boom, they've got their underhook, now they're climbing outside and going to your back, right? And we all know we'd rather be on someone's back than have someone on our back, right? I mean, most of the time I've been submitted because someone's back there. It's harder to deal with that sometimes than it is anything else. So, there's multiple ways to knee slice. Some of it, depending on your lineage, you kick your foot on their knee, you push it your opposite leg. So, somebody come here. I don't know. He's crippled. Lay down for him. So, like, I'm here, right? Some of you are used to doing this, pushing that foot back, kicking, right? Some of you are used to just gripping here, pulling up, and pushing your hips hard forward, and as soon as you feel a small break point, then you switch, right? And then there's this way where you're controlling the hip the whole time. So I'm down, I'm pushing that leg back. As I push that leg back, what does that do to my toes? My toes are barely hanging on now, right? So now when I hit that running man, boom. And I already have now an immense amount of pressure across his diaphragm. Right? He's going to be uncomfortable. So it's hip, kick. Right? I'm pulling this up. Now that I've got control of his hips, this leg's back, kicking it back. Now I'm going to grip and pull. So when I'm pulling here, if you can't get enough leverage here, look. This is fine too. Grab here at the tricep. If you're not comfortable there, look, go all the way to the shoulder. Because when you hit here and you start to pull up, right? If you can see his face right now, he's thinking this life sucks. Right? Here. And it's not, I'm not lifting, it's a transfer of weight. It's a continuous transfer. I'm saying here, this. That's why I'm not stepping. It's a switch of my hips. So that weight stays here. He stays like, an analogy I like to use is like a butterfly in a corkboard. Right? If you've been to any science class, you get these corkboards and you see where they got these little insects, stuck to the corkboard. Well, he's my insect. I'm the pin. Here. Here. So now, there. His life sucks. His arm is up. I want to attack. I've got attacked. Right? I got arms. All right there off of that because his arm is kicked up. Okay? I can use you for this one because I'm going to attack that other thing.
You bet if you wrap this ankle up, I'm shooting you.
It's going to turn from jiu-jitsu to block food.
I got my key block on deck, guys. I keep it right here.
So, when we're actually doing this, next thing we're going to do is like, occasionally, you'll get here, and somebody's really, really good about repummeling that leg or whatnot. Well, I'm going to use that. Right? I'm going to step now here. Once I step there, I'm going to straighten and kind of pull this up with me. Right? You got options, boom, leg drag, right? Well, one of my favorite things to do when I pull up, pinch. Right? Here, he's pummeled it back through. Pull up. Pinch. Now from here, look. I'm going to circle. Where did I look deep for this because I got a lot more leverage. Right? I'm going to sit. As I sit, hip, hip, hip. I'm turning my toes up, not my heel up. At this point, I want my toes to his hip. Here. Now, common mistake with straight ankle locks. You hit the Pledge of Allegiance, and you start doing this. Right? Yeah, it sucks. But anybody's been straight ankle locked a lot, they're going to fight through this. They're just going to switch the hip, step over, and they're golden, right? So look, stay tight. My elbow, I'm going to pin it to my side. Now look, from here, I'm going to try to get my chest parallel. Like I'm going to get my chest towards the dirt. Then I'm going to look away. Now, I don't like putting my foot like this because it's real easy for him to push that heel off and start to sit over. Right? I like keeping my toes up because then I can keep them engaged. So if he moves, I can move with him. Right? Here it's a little bit harder to move in my opinion. Like it's easy to push that down. If anybody, now, if we're in a single leg X, and he's standing, I'm absolutely not going to do this, right? I don't want to be sock locked. I'm going to turn the heel to the outside, so if I need to reposition, pummel back through to a different type of leg entanglement, I will. But when we're on the mat, I have no problem sticking my foot right here. Like connected to his hip. Down. Chest.
I'm already tapped. Screw you.
Right? Now look, I didn't even get to the fun part. Here, when I look away, thing also makes this work. Look, my hips, they're going to push in. Here, look away, hips are coming in. All right? Everybody all right with that? We're going to do it one more again. So we're here, boom, boom. I'm up, you know, I'm just going to step, pop up, right? If you need to, I can break that if you want. You know, boom, pop up, collect, collect, collect. This here I like doing in the gi because it's like a figure four. So I always have like a double wrist lock on his ankle, right? So here's just a step to the hip. See how he's already shifting? Pop. There. Pin. Chest to the mat. Look away. Everybody okay with that? I was going to do another one. We'll just stop here and let the no-gi guys have their ring. Right? So I'm in. When I push my hips, his foot's no longer engaged. This is out here. Right? What did we talk about? Like Professor Matt talked about a minute ago. Like my hips are over his hips, but I'm up. His hips are off the mat. He has no control here. Right? Like if I want to, I can throw him and take us back. I don't want to. I'm going to keep the grip, pull it up, circle. The next big thing, right, is when we got here, I want to step. See how I'm stepping and driving that knee to the mat. What is that doing to his hips? It's like twisting his hips up already, right? So now it's here. This is already starting to get tight on him, and I have really good control of his knee line. If you do a lot of leg locks, you know the knee line is like very important. So I have really good control. Pop. Set. Toes are up. Right? Down. If your hand slides down to your belt and you can grab your belt knot. Look. We have a guy in here named Fred. Look, I'm going to use him for example because he's not slender by any means. Actually, he's kind of round. Okay? Let's just put it that way. He's going to back your hips out. That way you can get your hand to your chest. Right? Look, if you have problems with this sliding like this, up and down, the beautiful thing about a gi, you have material you can grab. Right? So I'm going to anchor that to my chest. Now when my hips go back in, shoulder goes down, and I start looking away, it gets insta-tight. Right? Like it's instantly there. One of the things I do is like he starts to sit out, right? I can readjust this. Boom. You can still do this in IBJJF. Moving my foot to the outside of his hip. I can move my foot to the inside. Right? Still the same thing. Now, he's not going to set over. Look, I can push him away.
Ooh, yeah.
And do the same finish. Knee line, hip. Boom. I'm raising. Takes his hips off the mat. First he's going to do is he's going to step over. Great, I got something for that too, and that's a whole other class. Right? But here is where, like, he starts to step. Boom, just good. Connect. Here. Chest proud. Straighten your legs. Throw your shoulder back. Start looking. Boom. Same thing. Key thing, hips, 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 and more hips, right? Use your hips to get their hook out of your arm. Use your knee to control their hips on the way down. And look, you're golden, right? There's a lot of options, but, you know, hey, it's jiu-jitsu, there's always options. All right, now it's time for the no pajama guys.
We're going to start right here. He's got 2 hooks engaged, and I'm glad he already did the knee cut because I'm going to be doing a knee cut too. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a knee cut, we're going to blast through, we're going to darce him. Then we're going to come back. They're not going to give us the darce, so we're going to go through to a step over choke. There's going to be a mini series right there. I'm going to show you all 3 pieces, let you play with them, then I'll be done. So I'm doing it, bringing you back in, one more, and then we're out. And then it'll be Professor Jimmy's turn. So we're not going to start with any grips, anything fancy. We're just going to start right here. I got engaged in the guard somehow. I'll keep this super simple. We're just going to work on clearing a hook first, right? Nothing crazy. I'm not going to find the knees up here. I'm going to sort of find just under the knees at the shins. And I'm going to use my knee to sort of drop some weight or some pressure onto his leg, right? That hook's out. It's already out. Now I just got to get my leg over safely, right? So I'm not going to come here, go, and then go, oh, right? He's going to catch something. So I come in, touch, circle, look. See how as I drop, I sort of rock him to his side. So as I drop into that knee cut, I'm going to rock him to his side. I'm going to kick my knee into his hip. And I'm going to, like he was saying earlier, flare my foot into the bend of his leg. So 1, boom, 2, boom, find it here. Right? Now, I like to use my head. Some of the stuff that I do might get some people in trouble. I like to use my head, make people, suffer for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is as I cut this elbow, I'm going to find his head, drop through, my hip hits the mat, I pinch in and look, I'm back here. I said Dars first, I'm doing that last. We're doing the step over first, right? When I catch back and I pinch on his hip, look at how my head is sort of dropping back towards his hips. My hips are going up towards his head. I'm doing this on purpose because I'm about to step over that. What this is also doing, when I catch his hips like this, if I'm way up here, he can step over my head, right? I don't want him to have the same luxuries that I do. I'm stingy, I'm greedy. So when I hit here, pinch back, my back's in the way now. As he tries to step, I'm in the way. So, top foot right here is going to scoop his head up. I hit, I scoop. Look at the triangle first. It's almost identical to what Coach Chase showed earlier. I'm just upside down. Lock, pinch, get your squeeze. Keep your hips back on them. Don't try to push yourself out. You'll start dragging them. They'll turn. They'll go out the back door. Now they're on your back. Don't do that. No. So once we hit here, the step. Look at how my calf sort of meets. I start to roll under. Check this out. Look. Not only do we have the triangle, but we also have armbar and armbar, right? If you want to add the detail that Professor Chase added in earlier on that step over far side armbar, as you cut that circle, you can very easily catch and find a leg, slide up, and finish that arm. So, super cool detail you added in there earlier. So here, turn, over, drop. Work your underhook, head goes down. Pop, control. This is 2 grips in 1 right here. Look, elbow, pinch, push, in, pop your elbow back to their hip. I keep my chest heavy as I do this. I'm not lifting up, and I'm not coming here. I stay heavy. Saggy ribs is what I tell the kids class. Saggy ribs, right? As I step, oh, here's your triangle. Your elbow can hit the arm here. Knee into his hip, look at my elbow over his belly button, all the way around into your arm bar. A lot of this you've already done today. Super easy. I'm going to break it down one more time, a little bit slower. Here, not up here, you don't have enough control of this. I sort of want to be able to work hooks. And step here. Your underhook finds first. As you connect, you're finding this arm. Back. In. Pinched up tight here, pinching this tight. As I step, scoop, you can hit the triangle, get your tap, you can hit armbar, cut the elbow, over, in, sit back, right? So, play with that series, take your time on it, experiment with it, play with those 3 submissions right there. You got a triangle, armbar with the armpit, far side armbar rotating across. Everybody got it? Once we end up in that case though, and we're going for this attack, right? This series of attacks. I'm throwing a whole series at you in a 15-minute lesson, so if I don't hit every detail, don't hate me. But once he already hates me, trust me, right? Once we get here and we're working, we know we're going under the head. If I'm trying to do stuff like this, where I'm up, really attached to him, and I'm bendy. You can ask a lot of people in the gym. They'll stack me up, and I'll put my head and feet in places they shouldn't go, right? But here, I'm really working to try to get my leg under his head. If I give myself the space to do it, that step becomes so easy. That step becomes so easy, so simple, right? And then from there, it's like a negotiation type thing where I'm making him uncomfortable enough that he might lift his head up for me as I just sort of drive that through, right? Armbar, the triangle is the easy part. The far side armbar is what you guys look like you were having the most trouble on. So if everybody can real quick come over here, let me add a detail to it. So when I get here, I'm sitting on his head, right? We got 2 arms. We're going for this one right now. I've got really good control here. right? Especially when I'm based out over him and I get this. See how I sort of pinch it? I have multiple grips on this arm right now if we think about it. Watch. My chest is pinned to it. I have it pinned, my elbow and his hip, my head pinched on this. From here, as I start to turn, he starts to move. See how it's easy, right? I'm just shooting my knee, just under his noggin, straight under his shoulder, and then up. Right? I explained it earlier. It's like a fireman going down the pole. I'm attached to the pole. I'm spinning as I going down it. His arm is the pole. Right? So super easy to find there once you figure out the angle and the transition. You guys look pretty good with it, but some of you guys were just given too much space. Like some of you guys were coming through and wanting to hit like this. You'd be here, boom, and then you were wanting to come up. You come up, he's getting out and taking you somewhere, right? We don't want to go where he wants us to go. We want to go where we want to go. So keep that. You sit on his head, guys. Sit on it, pin it to the mat. Like he said earlier, he's the moth, I'm the pin, right? Except for this moth's pinned by its head, right? So, same pass, same setup, but when we hit this knee slice this time, whenever we clear, I'm going to notice that he has reached across the frame. Now, this is his back, right? Crossbody frame, the elbow's far away. This is his fault, but we're going to take advantage of it. Sometimes I see guys, especially in here, some of the newer guys, people will reach crossbody frames, and then they start doing stuff like this. They're like, oh, frame, get it. No, this is fine where it's at. It's not going to stop me, because what I'm going to do is instead of keeping this underhook, I'm going to reach and drop my shoulder into his armpit. Look at my chest facing you guys right here in front of me. I'm not staying like this. I need my shoulder. We're about to darce. I know where I need my shoulder, right? In here, this is a triangle with your arms, right? It's just like a triangle. I'm trying to work this into his neck. So when I reach through and punch for this darce, I can start to work him tight. Now look, other elbow is going to find as I walk. Finish. Now, doing this on a giant like Travis, where are you at, Travis? Travis is a giant compared to me. I'm not always going to be able to just punch through and lock up on this. So if I'm working against someone large or stronger than me in general, right? When I start to work this and clear, if I have to, gable grip, baseball style on the head, pinch my elbows, I work him into me. Re-punch, lock, heavy, finish. I'm laying on his arm, super tight choke. One of my favorites, guys. I fell in love with the darce about a year ago. And this is one of my highest success darces right here. A lot of the people that aren't here today that traveling for Memorial Day and stuff, you can ask. One of them is Matt. Matt hates me because every time we grapple, he gets darce. So one more time. In, boom, clear, rock. He frames across. We recognize that immediately. This pummels. You see how when I shoot that in, my shoulder runs into his arm and sort of bumps that frame off? Boom, here. If you need help, grab. If not, just pull it to you. Cut your angle. Get your finish. Thumbs. 1, 2, 3. Just from the actual, boom, I was here. I reach. See how I'm not trying to drop to my hip here. I want to stay mobile, right? Being on my feet, my knees, that's more mobile, right? I'm sort of playing, like, I'm using this almost like a pivot point on him. So as I can pull him into me, I can also walk if I have to, right? If I just take this knee I have posted and picked up, once I get to this point, and I turn and drop it, I'm already there at the choke, right? I don't have to put my hip on the mat at this point. I'm punching for the darce at this point. I'm not finishing the knee slice anymore, right? Does that make sense? Is that cool? Sweet. I appreciate you guys so much. And before Coach Jimmy teaches, I just want to say this. Looking up the mat like I have for so long and seeing all you guys in here, and our gyms have come together for something so pure and so good for helping out the Russells in a time that they really need it. You guys have no idea how big of a deal this is. We've never been together like this before. But this shows something about the jiu-jitsu community. It doesn't matter who our coaches are. It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is that when someone that we know and that we love needs us, we can do stuff like this. We can come together. We can unite, and we can help. And that is jiu-jitsu, right? At the end of the day, it's family, ohana, everything that Matt's doing. It is amazing. I look up to it. I've recently purchased this gym. I aspire to be like him, and I want to keep this community like it is, we are welcome. You guys are welcome here, and I hope that we're welcome with you guys, is what I'm saying. We love you guys, and you guys are killing it. Now, to Coach Jimmy.
I've been going back and forth with what I wanted to teach, and I was wrestling, front head, guillotine, like all this stuff. But since he taught Doris, I don't know where he ran to.
He's got ADD.
He's hiding. Oh, there he is. Since he went with Doris, we'll go with the stuff that I love. I have this entire system that I do. It's Anaconda, Doris, rolling guillotine. I kill it. It's one of the funnest things to do to people, because they're like, "What did you just do?" And it always sparks up conversation. So basically, when you're in, I'm gonna push collarbone. We're gonna talk about pushing on the collarbone instead of the shoulder. A lot of you guys are going tricep, shoulder. When I step in this fire, we're calling it the fire, because this is where you get burned. If I hang out, this guy's got a lot of tools that he can beat me with, right? So I want to be back here, like I'm a good wrestling stance, good posture. I want my head up. I don't want to lead with my head. I want to lead with my hands in a way. I'm going to step in this fire and I'm going to shove him. I'm just going to give him a good shove on his collarbone, and I'm going to push his knee to the mat sideways. A lot of us aren't strong this way, so when we push, it shifts his hips and it's pushing him back. So when I come in, this is where we are. Guys, toes up, weight is on the leg. I'm not toes down, carrying my weight on my toes. My weight's on the leg, my head is up. Also, my elbow is in, because I do not want this man to knee shield me, because then I'll have other problems to worry about. So if I step, shove in, and I'm like this, that knee's coming inside. He's going to kick. Now I'm going to have to worry about some of this stuff, some of this other stuff that we went over today. So I'm going to stay nice and tight, elbow down here. But what I am going to do, I'm going to bait him a little bit. I'm being nice by keeping my foot on the mat. I like this man here. But I'm going to give him enough space to swim for his underhook, because we've all been trained to go for this underhook. Everybody's like, get the underhook, get the underhook, get the underhook. It's like, yeah, get the underhook. That's what I want you to do. I want you to die today. I'm trying to win, man. So as he's swimming for his underhook, he tried to get his knee in. It wasn't coming because I'm good with my body positioning. That didn't work, so now he's going to swim. As he swims, I'm coming underneath here and grabbing the inside of my leg. It's called a wizard in wrestling. I'm getting this big chest. I'm going to fall over his head with my feet to my butt, guys. So it's just falling. Everybody here should be able to fall. It's just falling. So as he's here, swim, I grab and I fall. I just fell. And now I'll wave at the crowd because I just highlight reeled this man. Right? So we're here. I'm in. We're stepping around. Shove. Nice and tight. He can't get his knee in. He's like, ha, you gave me an underhook. I'm like, thank you, buddy. Hang over the head, big chest. I'm not grabbing the head, guys. If you grab the head, he's going to have all these little warnings. Warning. And he's going to do something different. I don't want him to do anything different. I want him to be cool with just saying goodbye to the world. All right? Guys, one more time. So we're here. Head up. I step. Now I'm going to step deep into this fire. I'm going to shove the collarbone, shove the knee. My chest is going to be big. Y'all see how big I am, right? Yeah. Going to get big on y'all. Elbow in. I don't want the knee to come in. So it looks like this. In, shove. I'm here. My foot's coming up. I don't want him trapping my foot. This is going to cause me other problems. I don't want his knee to come inside. That's going to cause me problems. So I have to stay in this good postured position. There is a good posture for every position. As I'm here, he's going to swim. As soon as he does, I hook my leg. Some of you guys can't see. I'm grabbing the inside of my thigh here. I'm grabbing it. He swims. Boom. Now look, guys. My hand comes over. I haven't grabbed him. I fall. I haven't let go of this elbow. It's nice and tight, guys. My knee comes over my own elbow. Get your arm out of there. All right, use it to wrestle. He dies here, guys. Now, if his arm's here, start wrestling. Now I've lost this position. You guys understand? So I've seen a lot of guys teaching to finish this thing, like coming in and collecting this. It's not wrong. Don't think that's wrong, because I can get a finish there as well. But man, these big guys going against my 140, well, I'm 150 now because I'm getting big. But yeah, but like 140, and I was wrestling 200-pound guys, man. This right here stops all that big man stuff. So elbows in tight. We wave at the crowd like, yeah, what's up? In. Now we touch our elbows, big chest. Everybody see that? Here's the thing. Don't squeeze your chokes. Do not squeeze your chokes, guys. Your chokes should come nice and easy. We're not going to burn our arms out on any choke. Control comes from your body positioning. Control comes from your body positioning. Your hands are for posting and killing or breaking. So if I'm going to break you or kill you, that's my hands. If I'm going to control you, it's my body positioning. You guys understand? Yes, sir. Cool, let's try it on 2. 1, 2. How this works, I also wanted to reiterate some of the mistakes that I'm seeing. Some of you guys are still shoving on the shoulder. In no-gi, this was something that I played for back and forth with, because I knew a lot of you guys play around in a gi, right? Just playing. A lot of you guys play around in a gi, right? So when you control people in no-gi, it's collarbone and hip bone. You try to pin your body behind the arms a lot, but it's your whole body and your weight. I cannot express enough to you guys that I can slow someone down in no-gi exactly like you guys do in a gi, because I understand where to position my body. It starts with your body positioning. So if I'm pushing on collarbones, if I'm pushing on hips, I'm able to feel where they're going, where they're trying to go, but I also have this imaginary box of control. So collarbone boxes in the neck and the head. Hips box in the center of the body. You control the hips, you control where the body, you control the body. You control the hips, you control the body. You control the head, you control where the body goes. So if you control hips, you control the body. If you control the head, you control where it goes. Super important. If you just think about that simple rule, your jiu-jitsu just got better. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. So when I'm stepping in and I'm shoving collarbone, that's what's making him sit down so easy. And it's not hard shove. It feels hard, doesn't it? It's not hard, guys. I'm just like popping a towel. Just sit down. Sit down. Now I have to stay tight because I don't want to deal with his knee shield. I have answers for it, but I don't want to deal with it. I'm just like, nah. I want to play my other stuff. So we're here. He's like, I can't get my knee shield in. I'm nice and firm. He's going to swim for his underhook. As I swim, this is the next thing where I see the other mistake. The first one's people pushing on shoulders. The second one, guys, is that you're grabbing the head right out of the gate. If I come over and I grab chin, now my moves are different because he's going to react differently. He's going to say, oh no, he's got my neck. Then he's going to go flat on his back and start trying to get a big posture and get you off of his head, right? So when I'm here and he comes in, boom, I'm covering the elbow. I'm just falling over his head. Look, guys. Now we're here. And right there. This is where we go. Now I'm touching my elbows. Look at my elbow. My elbow's not high, guys. It's coming to the mat. I'm pushing my elbows together. Big chest. My knees staying high to keep this tracked. And we're just here. There's my finish. All right, guys. Now let's just say that I messed up a long time ago or whatever, and he's trying to wrestle up or move. I'm going to let him decide, and that'll decide where we go. Try to get up. And we go right into our mounted kill. He swims. I'll follow. We're here. I messed up. He's like, I'm going to wrestle. I steer his head away, grab his bicep. Now, I look at him. My head, I'm like, what's up, man? Right? We come here. Now look. I roll. I let go. Touch the mat. I slide my chest into his chest, and I drive big like I'm trying to iron him into the mat. My chest is going, I'm trying to iron a shirt out. I'm trying to make him as flat as possible as I hit this turn. So we're here. I'm like this. Now look. I look at him. Come. Now my chest gets big. I push him to the mat. Big chest. My hand is right here on top of my ribs. And I'm driving in like that. And I'm sliding my hand right there. And I'm trying to make his forehead touch his knees. It's like, I'm going to pop his head off, right? Now, here's the one thing that I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to do this, come up, and then try to pull out like this. Because get your head away. His head's going to pop right out. I stay low, drive forward, and in. Everybody see that? Yes, sir. Let's try it on 2. 1, 2. I know some of you are having a problem hitting the backward roll. So there's going to be a solo drill. There's going to be a test. I'm just kidding, no test. But look, this is it, guys. So you can take this home with you and play with it. And this move is actually going to make your jiu-jitsu better because there's 3 drills that's going to teach you to open up your hips, rotate your hips, and be able to move around somebody. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. For this particular move, I'm here, I'm like this, right? I'm going to look whichever way I'm going to roll. Now watch my legs and my hips and everything, guys. I look. Y'all see the tip of my shoulder right here. As I look, I'm going to lean my head away. I'm going to come up to the tip of my shoulder as I sweep the mat. So it looks like this. That's what we're doing. We're not doing this, guys. That's with somebody on top of us, that's almost impossible. We're just doing this. So your normal backward rolls look like this. Straight back over your shoulder. Right? I'm telling you guys to turn just a little on the tip. Get on the tip. It makes you a little bit higher. It gets you over that hump that you're getting caught at. You guys are getting up and you're like, oh, I'm stuck. No, we're going to turn the angle. We're just going to get on our shoulder tip just a little. Right? And then the other 2 have nothing to do with this move, but it's going to make your jiu-jitsu better. We're going to step, lift up, shoot our knee through, step, lift up, shoot our knee through, step, lift up, shoot our knee through. You get good at that, guys, your jiu-jitsu gets better. Period. It teaches you how to open your hips. Every single back escape that I do starts with that. I step over their legs, I pop, bounce over the bottom leg, bounce over the leg. Every one of them starts with that. Right? And then we got the last one. So guys, we call those hip switches. Right? Then you got the shoulder tip one, which I just made up to help you guys better get on your shoulder tips. Right? I was like, whatever. And then you got your last drill. That's showing up to class. Right? Your coaches are going to make you better. So that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for having me. Thank you. And, thank you, guys.